What's up, y'all? What's up? I'm Coach Kima. I'm a sexual intimacy coach. I help women and couples have healthier relationships and start creating a sexual fulfilling life. Now, one thing what's up, AML code 243? So today I want to talk about falling in love with yourself. Now, a lot of people don't think that having self-confidence and being in love with yourself is something that you actually need, but you're going to need it in order to be sexually free, in order to be confident enough to stand up for yourself in the bedroom and say, hey, this not working for me, I need more, I like this, and this. In order to have the confidence to actually feel and touch on yourself, you're gonna have to have some type of self-confidence. You're gonna have to have some type of love for yourself in order to experience that. And a lot of times the reason why we are not standing up for ourselves is because we don't feel like we're worthy, we don't have the confidence to, or we just like we don't want to hit that button and it go away that we really don't want it to go. This sun is doing a number for me. But it's numerous ways that you can actually begin working on yourself so that you can start falling in love with yourself, so that you are confident enough to speak up to your partner, to speak up to someone, to be like, listen, this is not working. I want to explore new things. I want to do new things. I want to try new things. And yeah, that's what we're going to do, okay? So if you don't have confidence, you will be laying there and just not being happy. And that goes for men and women, because sex can go with the ego. So telling somebody like, listen, you're not doing it for me, sometimes they can take it to heart. Sometimes they'll be like, what you mean I'm not doing it for you? They can really get offended by it. But knowing how to talk to them and being confident enough to say, no matter where this conversation go, I have to say it because I can't lay here and be unsatisfied. Realizing that your confidence, your love for yourself is going to change your quality of life. Sometimes we focus so much on the outside that we forget that the inside has to match the outside in order for us to even thrive the way that we really see ourselves thriving. Because we all have that vision of ourselves operating as our highest self. And to get to that, it takes steps, but a lot of times people want to skip the steps. So first things first, falling in love with yourself is going to be key in order to building your confidence, because you have to accept you. You have to accept you for who you are. You got to accept you for what you've done. You got to accept every version of you in order to get to the highest version of yourself. In order to get to that sexually free version of yourself, you're going to have to accept all of those parts of yourself that you may feel ashamed about, because it's a lot of shame surrounding women and sex. The parts of you that you may feel like maybe that's a little bit too far, you got to accept all of those parts and learn to love that part of you, because honestly nothing is too far in between two consenting adults. It's just all in what we've been taught, and we have to reconstruct our mindset and know that this is my life, this is my body, this is my temple. Whatever I desire to do with it, that's just what I'm going to do with it. So one way to fall in love with yourself is to make sure that you are facing your fears. And facing your fears could look like standing up for yourself. Facing your fears could look like doing something that you've never done before. Facing your fears could look like standing up to like somebody who you feel like is over top of you. We have all those people that we need approval from and we need validation from, parents and grandparents and aunties and uncles. A lot of times you have to stand up for yourself and face your fear, like, listen, this is me. Like, this is what I like to do. This is who I am. And either you accept that or we just can't operate in the same space. You can't operate in my energy because you are causing me to shrink who I am. Doing things that you want to do but you have been afraid to do, that's important as well when it comes to actually loving on yourself and falling in love with yourself, because you have to face the fear of judgment, of the shame. Let me just step out and do this because this is for my better good. This is what I want to do. One of the things that elders often say, my sister works in a nursing home, and one of the things they often say is, they regret not going after the life that they actually desired. They regret not going after the life that they wanted to live. They just was doing everything that would make everybody else happy. So let's see, can I move this and get this in? So you have to make sure that you are living life for yourself and nobody else, because that is super important. It's super important for you to have a fulfilling life, because at the end of the day, you're only living for you. When you look in the mirror at the end of the night, you have to be happy with yourself. It's not about mama. It's not about daddy. It's not about kids. It's not about spouse. It's about, did I do what was going to make me happy today? Am I happy? Am I content? Do I feel like I'm growing? Do I feel like I'm moving forward? So facing your fears and standing up for yourself is going to be number one. Number two, you have to believe in you. You have to believe in you. Like, believing is half the battle. I'm telling you. Believing that you are worthy. Believing that you are valuable. Believing that you should have the things that you desire in life. The only thing you cannot have that you desire is the things that you don't go after, or the things that you don't set standards or boundaries to make sure that you receive. A lot of times we say we want certain things, but we will settle before we can even get there. Like, we have no patience. We have no belief in ourselves that if I want it, I can have it. So we settle before that thing even comes out to us, and then we wonder why we don't have it. Because you're settling. Because you're deciding that, okay, it's okay, I don't have to have it. Like, even when it comes to orgasms and experiencing all of that pleasure, you will settle and not say anything just for the sake of the fact, I don't want to disrupt this relationship. I don't want to hit their ego. I don't want them to feel no type of way. So I'm going to lay here and be unpleasured, unpleased, just because I don't believe that I can have it. That mindset will keep you stuck in that. You'll start having low desire. You'll start struggling with arousal, because you are failing to believe that I deserve this, so let me stand up for what I deserve. So make sure that you believe in everything that you desire. You believe in the person that you feel like you want to be. You believe that you can get there, because if you don't believe, nobody else is going to believe. If you don't stand up for, this is what I desire, this is how we get there, come on, let's make it happen, it is not going to happen. Like, you have to make sure that you are the one who is going forth for yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can have everything that you desire. Another way to fall in love with yourself is to forgive yourself. Like I said before, you have to fall in love with every version of yourself. I mean, the version that was 19, 20 that was messing up, the version that was 22 and 23 that thought she knew it all or thought he knew it all, and now you realize at 30 or 40, like, I ain't know nothing. You have to fall in love with every one of those versions. Every version that made mistakes. Every version that you felt like could have been better. Your today version that you feel like, I could do this. I should be this place. I should be doing this. I should be further. Fall in love with that version too, because once you fall in love with who you are today, guess what? It's gonna be easier for you to get to the point where, oh, you know what? I'm actually turning into the person that I desire to be, because I fell in love with myself. I accepted who I am. I'm grateful for where I am. I'm grateful for who I have become. I know that all of my mistakes were lessons that needed to be learned. All of my mistakes were experiences that I need to have, and they made me the person I am today. A lot of times we want to get somewhere without no journey, without no experience, without feeling or experiencing anything. And that's why we are failing, because you gotta go through the journey. You gotta go through the process. Like, I always circle back to my sex. Even with the orgasms and the feeling arousal, you're gonna have to go through a process of getting to know yourself, learning how your own body works, and before you get to the process of extreme, maximum intense orgasms. Why? Because it's a journey. Everything is a journey. Everything is a process. You're meant to learn something. You're meant to learn patience. You're meant to learn peace. You're meant to learn how to be calm. You're meant to learn something through every trial and tribulation of life. So hating yourself or disliking yourself for the simple fact that you are not where you think you should be, that's doing you no favors at all. So make sure that you are loving on yourself, that you are forgiving yourself for things that you feel like, hey, I could have did better. You could have, but now you know how to do better. And my fourth thing is trust your gut. We live in a society where trusting ourselves is the last thing that's on the list. Like, even if God came and sat down beside us, the Most High, whatever you call him, if he came and she came and sat beside us and said, listen, go right and then bust a left, you will probably have to think to yourself or call somebody and be like, listen, this person just sat beside me and said they were God and said to go. Instead of trusting your gut. Learn to trust yourself. The more you learn to trust yourself, the more that you can control your experiences. Why? Because you're following your gut. Your gut knows. You know how to guide yourself. You just been taken so far back from that guidance because you've been trusting everybody else. You need a second opinion about every single thing. You need somebody to confirm every single thing instead of just standing on, this is what I know, this is where I'm going. If I feel like I went the wrong way, I went the right way. You want to know why? Because it was evidently something over here I needed to learn. So making sure that you are trusting yourself, that you are trusting your gut, that you are actually standing on the things that you believe. I felt it in my spirit. I heard it in my head. I felt it in my gut. I knew this wasn't right. And I kept going because somebody else told me, and I'll go ahead. I always say advice is something that you ask when you know what you're supposed to do, but you really just don't want to do it. I always say that. So stop needing advice. Take 7 to 14 days and start trusting yourself every single day. Whatever your gut say do, you do it. Don't second guess it. Don't question it. Don't wonder how this gonna happen, how this gonna work. Is it gonna work this way? Don't wonder none of that. Trust your gut. Have faith in yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are the only one who have yourself and your best interest at heart. Trust yourself. Trust your gut. And once you start doing these things, you're going to start noticing that your quality of life is changing. Your confidence in yourself is changing. When you learn how to trust yourself, your confidence in yourself is going to start changing. Why? Because you're like, oh, you know what? If I can get here, I can get there. If I can trust myself to make a decision to make $500, I can get there. If I could trust myself to make a decision not to go out tonight and then something happens, it's like, oh, you know what? The next time something else, I know I need to trust myself. You have to practice those things. The more you practice listening to yourself, the stronger your intuition will get, and the more confidence you'll have in yourself to protect and trust your judgment. Nobody else's judgment will matter because my gut said, and that is what you're gonna follow. So recap. Face your fears. Make sure you're facing your fears. Like I said, the next 7 to 14 days, face your fears. Every other day, I want you to do something that maybe you would not normally do, but you always wanted to do. Start there. Stand up for yourself. Don't let nobody roll over you. Don't let nobody give you nothing that you are not desiring. I desire this. I deserve it. And this is what I'm standing on until I get it. I'm not settling. I'm not falling short. None of that. I give according to how I feel that you deserve. I show up as the best version of myself for you, so I expect the same thing when it comes in return. Expect the same energy that you are giving out. Believe in yourself. Always believe in yourself, okay? It starts with belief, and if you don't believe in you, nobody else is going to believe in you, and rightfully so, because you can't trick me if you ain't even tricked you. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and others, really. Like, make sure that you're forgiving others. Holding on to grudges will keep you in a place in life that you do not even desire to be because you refuse to let go. Sometimes forgiveness comes and you never get an apology, but let that stuff go. Don't let it hold you down. I don't care what nobody did or none of that. Do not let it hold you down. Think, ask, what lesson was I supposed to learn here, and move forward. And lastly, trust your gut. Please trust your gut. We can save ourselves a lot of heartache and pain, a lot of different things if we just trust our gut. But we be refusing to trust it. Trust your gut, for real. Like, nobody knows your life better than you. Nobody has your best interest at heart better than you. For real. If you struggle with confidence, if you need to explore your body, if you're ready to explore, if you're ready to get to the point where you can tell your partner, like, listen, I like this, and this. I want this, and this. Please click the link in my bio and join my Patreon membership. We are going to be deep diving in confidence, building boundaries, building standards, making sure that you don't settle, breath work. We're going to be figuring out how to feel on yourself, how to touch yourself, how to get yourself to the next level. We're going to be going through all of that, but it starts with internal and getting yourself together. Before you're going to feel comfortable with doing all of this to your outside body, you're going to have to be confident within. You're going to have to be secure within. Before you can stop settling, you're going to have to be secure in your own foundation. Before you can stop losing your individuality when you get into relationships, you're going to have to be secure in yourself. That means confident. That means being strong, knowing that, hey, I'm not settling for that. If you can't give me what I want, I can't stay here. And that's in every department. Knowing your non-negotiables, knowing your sex language. All of that is going to be important when it comes to learning yourself and obtaining that sexual freedom that I know we all desire. Okay? So again, I'm Coach Kima. I help women and couples experience sexual fulfillment and create better relationships. Click the link in my bio. Join my Patreon. It launches Friday, but if you do jump in right now, I've already loaded the bonus gift that's up in there for you, as well as I'm going to be uploading throughout the full entire week, so you get early access to it. All right, I enjoyed y'all. Have a great day.